Prince William has returned to the spotlight a few days after news of his tremendous personal riches dominated British headlines. And this time, everyone's focus wasn't on the enormous £1.2 billion in wealth. The Prince of Wales reminded royal supporters why he still enjoys such widespread affection by appearing at ease, self-assured, and warmly involved with those around him. Prince William was there at a lavish celebration honoring the Wales Air Ambulance Charity's 25th anniversary. The charity has grown to be one of the most reputable emergency medical services in the nation. To commemorate this incredible milestone, hundreds of supporters, medical experts, volunteers, pilots, engineers, community leaders, and well-known Welsh figures came together. William's visit was especially important because he was the charity's royal sponsor. William's attendance was his first formal public appearance since Buckingham Palace disclosed previously unheard-of financial information demonstrating the sharp increase in his personal wealth following his inheritance of the Duchy of Cornwall. Newspapers, TV shows, and social media have been ablaze with debates about the future king's finances for days. However, on Friday night in Newport, the discussion turned back to service rather than money. This wasn't just another appearance on the schedule, in contrast to many royal engagements. Prince William has a strong personal connection to the goal of an air ambulance charity. William was a professional pilot for many years prior to becoming one of the most famous royals in the world. He piloted search and rescue helicopters, responding to crises in some of Britain's most hazardous environments, after completing intensive flying training with the Royal Air Force and graduating from the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst. He later decided not to completely give up aircraft after leaving active military service. Rather, he agreed to work as a civilian helicopter pilot for the East Anglian Air Ambulance. William responded to life-threatening situations every day for almost 2 years while working with physicians, paramedics, and emergency dispatch teams. These operations put him in close proximity to people going through their darkest periods, unlike formal royal tasks. Under extreme pressure, each call required composure, technical accuracy, and collaboration. Former co-workers have frequently praised William's professionalism, pointing out that he was treated like any other crew member in the cockpit. When every second could mean the difference between life and death, his royal title didn't really matter. His perspective on emergency medicine was profoundly altered by the encounter. It also explains why one of his favorite organizations is still Wales Air Ambulance. William was welcomed into Friday night's celebration by volunteers whose commitment was similar to that of the individuals he had previously worked with. Millions of pounds have been raised over the years by many to maintain rescue helicopters operating throughout Wales. Wales Air Ambulance is primarily dependent on charitable donations for its operations, in contrast to state-supported emergency services. Before dinner, guests arrived at the exquisite location for a reception where discussions centered on the charity's remarkable accomplishments over the previous 25 years, as well as the thousands of lives that were changed as a result of highly qualified medical teams being able to reach patients promptly. However, attention understandably focused on the Prince of Wales despite the excellent guest list. After the stunning financial revelations that had dominated national headlines, many were excited to see William. William willingly paid about £7.76 million in income tax and capital gains tax during the most recent fiscal year, according to the recently released annual royal accounts. Even though royal family members are not required by law to pay income tax on specific types of royal income, heirs and succeeding monarchs have frequently made the voluntary decision to do so. One of the most obvious examples of the royal household's continuous attempts to improve financial openness through the Duchy of Cornwall was this most recent revelation. Currently, Prince William is in charge of an estate worth about £1.2 billion. The heir to the throne receives private income from the duchy, which supports his household, philanthropic endeavours, and official responsibilities. William got almost £23.6 million from the duchy in the most recent fiscal year, according to the annual report. Debate was immediately stirred by those astounding figures. The prince's readiness to release more thorough financial data than many had anticipated was commended by several. Others questioned whether the monarchy should adopt even more transparent practices. Notwithstanding differences of view, the revelation was a momentous occasion. The future king's personal finances have never received such in-depth public attention. Yet, as Friday's event continued, it became increasingly clear that Prince William had no intention of allowing financial headlines to define his public image. Throughout the evening, his attention remained firmly fixed on the people whose dedication had built the Wales Air Ambulance into one of the country's most trusted emergency services. Moving from table to table, William spent time speaking with pilots, paramedics, engineers, volunteers, fundraisers, and families whose lives had been changed by the charity's work. Rather than focusing on formal speeches alone, he listened carefully to personal stories of emergency rescues, life-saving operations, and the countless hours volunteers devote to keeping the helicopters flying. Those who attended the celebration described the prince as relaxed, approachable, and genuinely interested in every conversation. His background as a former air ambulance pilot allowed him to speak with staff using the language of someone who truly understands the pressures of emergency aviation. Discussions about aircraft maintenance, difficult weather conditions, medical response times, and teamwork reflected experiences he had once lived by himself. For many volunteers, that shared understanding made the evening especially meaningful. They were not simply meeting a future king. They were reconnecting with someone who had personally experienced the responsibility of responding when every second mattered. The gala also served as a reminder of the enormous impact the charity has made during the past 25 years. Thousands of patients across Wales have received critical care because highly trained medical teams were able to reach them quickly in situations where minutes often determine survival. Behind every successful mission stand not only pilots and doctors, but also thousands of supporters whose donations keep the service operating every day. Royal commentators noted that William's appearance perfectly reflected the direction he had chosen for his public role. While discussions surrounding royal wealth and transparency will undoubtedly continue, his engagements consistently emphasize service, community, and practical action rather than ceremony alone. Many believe this approach reflects lessons learned from both King Charles and the late Diana, Princess of Wales. Charles devoted decades to charitable causes, while Diana became known for connecting personally with people facing difficult circumstances. Observers increasingly see William blending those traditions into a modern style of leadership that combines visibility with meaningful public service. As preparations continue for the next chapter of the monarchy, moments like this provide a glimpse of the qualities many expect William to bring as a future king. Financial responsibility, transparency, and charitable commitment are becoming increasingly central to the image he hopes to present. While headlines may focus on billion-pound estates and royal accounts, evenings like this remind the public that much of William's work continues to revolve around supporting organizations that rely on volunteers, donations, and the dedication of ordinary people working to save lives. Only time will tell how history ultimately judges this new era of transparency within the monarchy. But one thing is already becoming clear. Prince William appears determined to ensure that discussions about royal wealth are matched by an equally visible commitment to public service, responsibility, and duty. What do you think about Prince William's latest appearance? Does his continued support for charities like the Wales Air Ambulance strengthen public confidence in the monarchy, or should even greater transparency still be expected? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this royal update, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest coverage of the British royal family. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.